Good. How we doing?
I was just wondering if there was an update on Cole Miller.
Yeah, we'll know here in a couple hours. We're about to go out to practice. I know he's battling. He wants to get out there with us, and we'll see today. Hopefully it works out for us.
Coach, one of the things that you're teaching your guys is how to win and handle success. Were you happy with how they came back from the couple days off?
Yeah, we had 2 good practices. Obviously, we got to clean some things up. First full week, right, like a normal week. So obviously there's going to be a little bit more there with corrections, more practice time, more meeting time to do that. And but again, I'm going to go back to the key words that I always talk about. Our purpose is there. So, yes, we're heading in the right direction.
How do you handle a night game process for the players on Sunday compared to maybe the normal routine?
Yeah, just let them sleep a little bit. You know, I think I recall when I was a player, you did like that extra hour or so. You know what I mean? So not making them feel rushed, but also keeping them on their same routine. So just kind of planning that with our staff, with the timing. But then also you got to know your roster, right, and how you're feeling. So I think all that plays into it. But the good part about it, we've had enough this year. Our guys are used to it. That's a good thing for the Raiders, that we're playing on these primetime games, and we're excited about it.
How important has it been for you to go over to the other side on the offensive side of the ball, just kind of get to know guys a little bit more and develop some relationships on that side of the ball?
Yeah, I thought even prior to this opportunity, I did cross over a little bit, but now I'm over there more, right? I'm actually spending most of my time over there with the offense and allow them to feel me, get used to hearing me, seeing me, hearing me speak, how I talk, and then interacting with them. And then just kind of watching our coaches coach. I wasn't focused on that. I had my own job to do as a linebacker coach. So I would say a big part of my day is with the offense.
What about the relationship with the quarterback? I know the head coach quarterback, that's kind of almost one and the same. Is that kind of coming along as well?
Yeah, it's my BFF. Yeah, we're BFFs. Call him 4. Right? He's a rookie, so I still call him 4. And over there talking with Jimmy Hill. I played against Brian Hoyer. Whew, so we've always had a good relationship, talking, joking, just talking ball, and just listening to them talk behind the huddle is really good for me and them.
What have you found to be the most challenging part of the job so far?
All the requests. Time consuming. Do you think you can be somewhere and focus on this and then you get pulled out of a lot of meetings or studies or things that you're doing? So that's the biggest thing. And at the end of the day, you want to make yourself available. Doors wide open. It's not closed. So I understand that, and obviously it'll be an adjustment as I go forward.
Hey, Pete, in the locker room yesterday, all the guys were talking about you didn't make this about you. You made it about them.
Yeah.
But I've equated this to a 10-week job interview. And I'm just curious. They're talking about wanting to get the job for you. I know you're not preaching it, but that respect, what's it mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. Listen, if we handle our business, it'll take care of itself. That's the world I come from. And I can't control my destiny in 10 weeks, myself, right? The players will, the coaches will, our support staff will. So collectively, if we want this thing to work and see this going forward in the 2024 season, we can. But if I don't handle my business on Sunday, we're not even talking about 2024. So I'm on Sunday. I'm at 5:20 p.m., but more importantly, I'm on today at 12 o'clock.
Another guy, as you're trying to get more acquainted with the roster, obviously, special teams, what was your relationship like with A.J. Cole kind of like throughout the season? And also, what do you believe he brings to the team as in setting up your defense for success?
Yeah, I always would say this, though, even as a player and a coach, kickers and punters are unique. Specialists are unique. So they have their routine. You don't mess with them. If they get their coffee at a certain time, you don't get their coffee. Then you find time to talk to them. And I think that's how we've been working. But listen, what AJ did the other night, I don't think we talked enough about. NFL single game record, changed field position for us. The cover units was great. The protection was good. And just watch how those guys celebrated and understanding what he accomplished. He was a player of the game for us. He's got the first spot out there in the parking lot, first man in the building, first spot. So obviously we respect, and our special teams has been our core. It's been probably the strength of our team in each and every game, giving us opportunities. But along with him and Carlson, they've done an outstanding job along with our kicking coverage units.
What have you seen from the back end between Marcus Epps and Trayvon Merrick? They seem like they're coming into their own.
Yeah, Marcus Epps did a great job. When he first got here, he grabbed that group. You saw them in the cafeteria. You saw them in different parts of the building, kind of circled up, brought that unit closer together, I feel, on and off the field. Great communicator, great leader, student of the game, a winner. He's a winner. He was there last year. He was right there to having himself a ring. And he's brought that leadership and that understanding of what it's like. Like I talked about, that winning stamina and winning mentality into our building.
How big is that to have leaders on every element of the defense, from the line to the linebacker room to the back end?
Yeah, if you take care, obviously you got Max, you got Robert Spillane, then you got Epps, But then you got guys, I'll be honest, like a guy that a lot of guys look up to is Marcus Peters. And he's done an outstanding job. You know, it hasn't always been pretty. He knows that. We've had great conversations about it. But the mind and the purpose is there. And this is a pro. This is a guy who's done it at a high level for a long time. He makes our group better. So just doing that on both sides of the ball. We just talked about our specialists. I mean, listen, we got a good team here. We just got to keep playing and playing well.
Andre James talked yesterday about you still being in the offensive lineman room and that you pump them up with your attack mentality. How have you enjoyed sitting in with those guys?
I love the big boys, man, because like I said, you know, again, being a former player, you understood what was in front of me was my protection. And when I watched these guys and when I saw the other night, what I think the world saw with our offensive line, their mindset, when they make up their mind that they want to come off the ball and tee off and protect the quarterback, we can. We can. And it's good to be in there with those guys because they never get talked about, right? Jermaine doesn't get talked about enough. Andrew, only thing we talk about is when they make a mistake. But nobody talked about the game they just had the other day and how they protect our quarterbacks and we ran the ball. But also, I need to get to know their terminology. I'm in a foreign class. Right? I got my notebook out. I'm working on my other masters here. You know, it's French and Italian all mixed in one. So just getting the language from our office and understanding how really the psyche of our O-line. You know, I want to know that. Like, what are they really thinking? What's their mentality? What's their thought process? And that's working.
You had mentioned Spillane the other day, playing after getting surgery, and when we talked to him, he's like, "Yeah, that's what you do." Like, is that just born in somebody? Is like, how does that develop? I guess.
Yeah, listen, he called me right away after it happened. He was a little drowsy, and then he called me back and asked me if it was real. I said it was real, and he said I'll be there tomorrow, and then he showed up on Sunday. So, you know, those are the kind of guys you got, man. You know, if you get men like that, you know, I'm not going to say every guy's going to be built that way. But if you have enough of them and they have that mindset, now he can start to use his tentacles and use that on other people and spread that message and spread really that physical toughness and that mindset that he had. And he's a lunch pail guy. Look where he's come from the bottom. And he's one of the leaders and captains of our team, and he's a great one.
Just kind of to that, Divine Diablo has been back out in practice, so is Luke Masterson. Like, how ready are they to get back into the mix and possibly be ready for the Jets?
It's good. They both had good weeks of practice, ready to go. It's good to have a full group there. And it's been kind of a Rolodex in that room the last 2 weeks with injuries. But the one thing about I think our team is what I've seen in our staff is they're willing to get out there. They're willing to fight through injuries and pains and nicks. You never will be 100% until we get back in January and off season. So for our guys, just to get them out there and to have that unit be a glue again is really good for our defense.
Antonio, how you talked about the offensive line earlier. How deep is that line if Colton Miller has been a standout out there, foundation piece of left tackle? If he can't go, how can that offensive line potentially handle that? Yeah,
part of our process here the last couple of days is just next man up mentality. So if it ain't Colton Miller, it'll be the next gentleman up. And obviously, everybody's been practicing the right way. So if that comes to fruition and we have to move on from Colton to somebody else, I'm not going to blink. And they're not going to blink. And we expect them to do the exact same job Colton Miller doing. When Colton Miller goes in there and he's in there, he's going to be Colton Miller. So we're fine. No panic. Nobody's over here worried about what's going to happen with Colton if he's in or not.
You guys all set?
Thanks.